Hello, and welcome to episode number 1 of the WWE 2K20 Universe Mode here on the WrestleVision YouTube channel. I am Connel, your Raw General Manager, and we'll be getting things kicked underway with some tag team action here in the first match of Universe Mode. And there are the war cries of Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders.
On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 552 pounds, Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders.
So yeah, obviously, on the draft episode, we did put the poll up to see who would get the main event of tonight's show, and it would be whoever won the best overall show would get the main event. And since that winner was SmackDown, every single part here will be the Raw match opening up and the SmackDown match main eventing. So after this, it will be the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. And it will be tag team title matches in part 1. Part 2 will be the mid-card title matches. Part 3 will be the women's title matches. Part 4 will be the world title matches. And part 5 will be both Money in the Bank ladder matches, with the Raw and SmackDown for each part. And we have had a little bit of an epiphany I had. We are going to change up the rules slightly, where it was anyone can have a call-up after the pay-per-view. But now,
And their opponents,
hold on.
at a combined weight of 397 pounds, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Undisputed Era.
Yeah, I don't mean to talk over the entrance of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, but there's just a couple of things that you just want to get out there. So instead of just having it be anyone can get a call up, we're going to put polls on every single episode now, with saying which match was your favourite, Raw or SmackDown. And since there's going to be 5 matches on every pay-per-view, there will definitely be somebody who gets more votes and gets the winner. And whoever wins that, whoever gets the most poll wins, either Raw or SmackDown, that show will main event the next pay-per-view and also have the chance to call up a wrestler of their choice. One more quick thing I do need to go over is the schedule for this series is pay-per-views, because they are 5 matches long, will be uploaded Monday through Friday, one episode a day, when we get to a pay-per-view week. So today is Monday, it will be Money in the Bank Part 1, then Part 2 will be tomorrow, Part 3 will be Wednesday, blah blah blah, for every pay-per-view going forward. For weekly episodes of Raw and SmackDown on, it will be Monday will be Raw, Tuesday will be SmackDown, then there'll be nothing on the Wednesday, Thursday will be Raw, Friday will be SmackDown, then Monday will Raw, Tuesday SmackDown, Thursday Raw, Friday SmackDown again, and then it'll be another pay-per-view, because there's 4 weeks to every single pay-per-view. As we get underway with our first match of Universe Mode action, as Eric, the big Viking, takes Kyle O'Reilly against the ropes and sends him... Oh, he's got him up for a big belly to belly and sends him flying over the top, showcasing his strength as the crowd rallies behind the big Viking. So O'Reilly gets into the ring. Of course, Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish went as part of the first tag team pick for Monday Night Raw, as part of the Undisputed Era, the whole stable, including themselves, Adam Cole, and Roderick Strong, who you see accompanying his friends here at ringside. Adam Cole nowhere to be found because he is backstage getting prepared for the Money in the Bank ladder match, as Kyle O'Reilly hits the rebound clothesline off the ropes and lets to tag in his good friend Bobby Fish. But Roderick Strong is here, so you've got to wonder how the numbers game could affect Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, but they do definitely have the size advantage, so having the extra man may not be much of a distraction to them, as Eric is going to chop Bobby Fish, catches him with a big exploder. And now Fish, into the corner he goes, we're going to make another quick tag to Kyle O'Reilly, but Eric catches him, and there's a big lifting choke slam, I think. I want to kick to Fish, but Fish catches the leg sweep. Of course, working over the legs of the bigger men, Eric and Ivar. Best possible strategy that Fish and O'Reilly can have, because that takes out the size advantage if they can't stand straight. Strike exchange, kick to the midsection, hammered down by Eric. And Fish sends him packing against the other ropes. There's the kitchen sink. Eric. Back and forth again we go. Fish rolls out the way with a big elbow by Eric the Viking. And into the corner. Bobby Fish sends him. Eric elbows him out. Irish whip again. And there's the big hip toss. As Fish desperately needs to make a tag to O'Reilly. As Eric looks to bring in the fresh Ivar. The bigger of the two. It seems weird calling Eric the smaller member of his tag team, but when you look at a guy the size of Ivar, it definitely is true. Ivar looking to take O'Reilly down. And looking to neutralise the Undisputed Era here tonight. Of course, Undisputed Era has dreams of draping themselves all in gold. If Fish and O'Reilly can get a head start here in this match, and Adam Cole becomes Mr. Money in the Bank later on tonight, they'll already have a good foot in the door about doing just that. Well, Roderick Strong would then need to become United States Champion. And judging by his appearance at ringside here in this match, I don't think we're going to see him there as O'Reilly kicks out one after a spine buster by Ivar. Ivar looking all fired up. Big leg drop. And there's a flying headbutt taking Kyle O'Reilly down. And a kick kicks off Ivar. Again, because you saw O'Reilly and Fish come out together without Strong. He just sort of popped up at ringside. That is one of the many inconsistencies you're going to start seeing in this universe. It's nothing I can do, it's just the game we're playing is broken. So I believe there is a match, another point where I thought, oh, the managers aren't coming out, but they actually do. It's just, for some reason, they don't come out with the entrances in this universe mode anymore. Because I don't know what needed to be fixed in order to possibly mess that up, but I'm done trying to question people that make this game at this point. As Brainbuster to Ivar, big kick out. Of course, this is the first match of Universe Mode. All eyes are going to be on these two tag teams to see who can bring the very best. As Ivar, there's that old Rikishi driver taking Kyle O'Reilly down. As Ivar goes into the cover, could have just won it for the Viking Raiders here. Fish makes a last minute save. Last second even, not even last minute. As Ivar, big back body drop to Fish, sends him rolling. And now O'Reilly isolated with the big man. Splash, not enough. The heart of Kyle O'Reilly fighting on. Running crossbody. Could have just taken O'Reilly out of his boots. O'Reilly didn't see that coming into the corner. Looking to make a tag to Eric. What are they thinking here? Big knee and a club. Just brute strength by Eric and Ivar. There's a punch to the face. Again, O'Reilly isolated. We don't know. Bobby Fish still recovering down here on the outside. Strong. Not really got involved too much yet. You'd have expected him to, because Roderick Strong is cheeky little monkey like that, but he's been good. He's on best behaviour at ringside so far in this match. Who knows how long that can be kept up for. As Eric even. Oh, O'Reilly slipped under the back. And big clothesline taking the big man down. And now O'Reilly in control of Eric. Tries to take him back to his corner, but Eric fights off. And Eric now with another suplex coming up. Down goes Kyle O'Reilly. Going for a hot tag. Looking to bring in Bobby Fish, Ivar, Eric. I keep calling him Ivar, my bad. Looking to try and block him as he goes for a suplex and a super kick. Reversal by Kyle O'Reilly. The technical prowess of the Undisputed Era on full display here as an arm breaker. And a couple of stomps to make sure that Eric is down and out. O'Reilly looks to pull on the pressure with a big knee drop to the face. Of course, the winners of this match will look to steer the course of the Raw Tag Team division for the foreseeable future. Oh, roll! Eric caught the knee and power bombs Bobby Fish. And he sends Fish over his knee. Oh, running knee. Could have just knocked the lights out of Bobby Fish. And into the corner goes Fish. He fights off the double team assault of the Viking Raiders. Bobby Fish gonna send Eric. Oh, but Eric fights off. And Fish fights him off again. Back and forth, two evenly matched teams so far in this match. Eric has taken the brunt of the assault by Fish and O'Reilly's tandem offense as Fish continues to work over the back. And there's a kick to the midsection. And Fish takes Eric to the ground. And can Kyle O'Reilly be tagged in? He can. That may not be the smartest move. O'Reilly seems to have taken more of the offense in this match. But he's tagged straight back out to Bobby Fish. Maybe he realises the same thing I just realised. Maybe it's not smart to have Kyle O'Reilly in there. Fish go for the fish hook. Knee to the face by Eric. Eric rolls Fish over again with another big Viking knee. Cuts him open. Kyle O'Reilly's taken off. And Eric O'Reilly's down. Roderick Strong sort of not really doing anything. And Eric now has all the time in the world. And here we go. He's caught Fish off guard. In comes Ivar. Going up top. Big leg drop. There's the fallout. O'Reilly still down. Fish down. And the Viking Raiders are your Raw Tag Team Champions. In one hell of a contest to kick off Money in the Bank. And to kick off Universe Mode. And to kick off the Raw Tag Team division. Which is now led by the dominant duo of Eric and Ivar. The Viking Raiders. And there they are, handed the Raw Tag Team Championships by the referee. And now they are definitely the team to beat. And two big men like this will take some beating. But that's it for me now. As we pop over to SmackDown. And their SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
And it is time to crown our first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. We've just seen the Viking Raiders win the Raw Tag Team title belts. And here come the Street Profits, looking to pick up the blue and silver titles in the first ever SmackDown match in this universe mode. I am Liam, I am your SmackDown General Manager. I'll be using this match, the commentary of this match, to give a little bit more of a background as to what we'll be doing with SmackDown, because this is the first time I've really had the chance to speak since the draft. So there'll be a little bit of explaining what we're going to be doing with SmackDown and how that may compare to Raw. I don't know exactly what Connell's doing, but it may be a bit different to how I'm doing it. We'll see anyway. But Street Profits looking to pick up a SmackDown Tag Team titles. We have a pretty good tag division, I will say. We have the OC, we have the Revival. Revival will be a team that challenges, well, not challenges, but takes on the Street Profits for the titles today. And you have to wonder how the OC feel about that, because the OC were the first tag team that I drafted. So perhaps on future SmackDowns they're gonna, be a little bit like, well, hang on, you drafted us first, but didn't give us a tag team title match. Speaking of the OC though, I can say that AJ Styles of the OC does have a match at Money in the Bank, because he will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That will be obviously part 5 of our 5-part thing. I don't know if Connell's explained this, I hope he has. If not, I'll explain it when the match starts anyway. Here come the Street Profits opponents, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Revival. I apologise if I make any commentary mishaps, because Dawson and Dawkins sound extremely similar. Both of these teams former NXT Tag Team Champions. The Revival were the first ever 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions, I believe. And they're looking to become the first Universe Mode SmackDown Tag Team Champions here. Going back to what I was saying before, about sort of how these episodes are going to be structured. So you're going to see the same as in this one. For each of the 5 episodes, it's going to be the Raw match, then the SmackDown match. That was decided by virtue of our draft episode, where SmackDown was voted as having the better roster. Therefore, it got the main event slot in each part of the pay-per-view. If you haven't seen the draft video, go back and watch that if you want to know the rosters. Obviously, you'll get to know them a bit over when we start doing TVs. Anyway, point is, every day of this week, this is Monday today, hopefully, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be uploading part 2, 3, 4 and 5 of Money in the Bank. We have 4 titles to decide. We have obviously the tag titles. Next, I believe, will be our mid-card titles, so that will be the US title match for Raw and the Intercontinental title match for SmackDown. We will then have our women's title matches, then the world title matches, and then the 5th part will be both brands' Money in the Bank ladder matches. Back to the matter at hand. Scott Wilder. No, I'm getting confused. It's not a good start, is it, Scott Wilder? Right. Dawkins and Ford have the upper hand early on, but the Revival are very... a bit of a contrast in these two teams, I'd say, where Dawkins and Ford have different styles. Dawkins, more the power game, Ford is more about agility and explosive speed. Not that, Dawkins isn't quick and agile, but I think that there's a divide there. Whereas with Wilder and Dawson, you're getting the same traditional tag team techniques from both. I mean, that may help the Revival, but it also may help the Profits. The Profits know exactly what to expect from the Revival. They know they're going to try and cut the ring in half, keep them in the corner, quick tags in and out. What you're going to get from the Street Profits is a bit more unpredictability, so that might be a bit difficult for the Revival to sort of scout in a way. Now, one thing I will say about SmackDown that might be a bit more different to Raw is going to be the impetus on match records. And this is an idea that I've basically copied from AEW and seen they've not been doing it properly, and I thought, well, I can do that better, so I'll do it. They made a big deal out of it when they first announced their existence. It was like going to be a proper sports-based presentation. Match records are going to count, and frankly, they haven't really. I aim to make that happen in this universe mode. So you're going to see matches made based on win and loss records. You're going to see title challenges determined by win-loss records. You'll get more of an idea, more of a feel for that as we start doing TVs. But not only will obviously the winner of these matches that we have for SmackDown win the titles, but it also is one in the win column and one in the loss column. And I am literally keeping a table as we go along of the wins and losses. So when I need to pick a title challenger or a number one contenders match, I will be looking at what the best match records are and going, well, it's that guy and that guy. It's not going to completely overrule everything. There will be some, storylines going on that aren't necessarily brought about by match records, but every win and loss within that, that rivalry will influence what they do after the rivalry. The winner of the rivalry is more likely to go on to have a title match, for example. We have already basically we have recorded up until the next pay-per-view because it's hard for us to record. But we both have lives. I'm in university, you know, so we record these like we'll record a pay-per-view and then 4 months worth of TV at one time, and then once we've edited that and that's all set, we will be recording the next batch after 3 weeks. So it works on a 3-week cycle. What you're going to see is every day of the week we'll be uploading Money in the Bank, and then from next week onwards it will be a Raw episode on Monday, a SmackDown episode on Tuesday, a Raw episode on Thursday, and a SmackDown episode on Friday. So you're getting an upload Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday every week of TVs. That will continue until the pay-per-view, which will be like this week where we upload every day of the week. So we're avoiding weekends, and apart from the pay-per-view weeks we are avoiding Wednesdays, which is a kind of like handy little thing because there's already enough wrestling on Wednesdays. I'm rambling a little bit. I'm not really paying attention to the match, I've noticed. Montez Ford with a big leg drop. Easy kick out for Scott Dawson. Dawson working over the leg. This is what we're talking about. Traditional sort of using the environment to their advantage from the Revival. If they can ground Ford and keep him from getting the attack to Dawkins, that could be the way for them to go. Dawson now whips Ford into the ropes and a big chop block. He was working on the leg before. Clearly the legs are a target. If you take out Ford's legs, he doesn't have the jumping power. But he has tagged out to Dawkins. That's what the Revival wouldn't have wanted to happen. And now can Dawkins take advantage? It looks like he can. He's going to try and suplex Dawson into the ring. Does so. And now the Revival could be in trouble because it's Scott Dawson who's suffering at the hands of Angelo Dawkins. Whips him into the corner, bounces straight back out. Dawkins went for a fist punch there. Dawson managed to dodge it, knocks him out of the ring. Bit of taunting going on, not sure that's entirely a good idea. But both men back in the ring. Dawson on arrival gets him up, drops him down, and a big leg drop, and takes Montez Ford out. A bit of a cheap shot from Scott there. Dawkins sort of takes advantage. I think if Dawson didn't take the time to take that cheap shot at Ford, Dawkins wouldn't have had time to recuperate, and now with the amateur style takedown, Dawkins is back on top. How long would that last? Not very, because Dawson gets out, whips Dawkins into the ropes, goes for the elbow, a bit of a collision, but Dawkins is in trouble now because Dawson has made the tag, and it looks like they're setting up for the Shatter Machine, and that is the Revival's finishing manoeuvre. And if they can get the pinfall here, they will be your new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. You'd have to think Ford makes the save. And now Wilder has something to say about that. He's going to bring him into the ring with the suplex. Almost lands right on top of Dawkins. Dawkins is weakened. Dawkins has suffered a Shatter Machine now. And Wilder has him up. Backbreaker. And this match could be getting near the end if the Revival can put Dawkins and the Street Profits away. Wilder in the Profits' corner, but there's no Ford. He's still suffering from that suplex. And Dawkins is going to have to go it alone for a little while here and survive as best he can. The big fist punch he was looking for before, and now he goes for the pinfall. Wilder gets out. Ford back up now, walking over to his corner by the looks of it. Looked like Dawkins was going for a belly-to-belly throw there. Wilder gets out, lands a drop kick. And now Dawkins with a leg sweep. And I think the clever thing for Dawkins to do here would be to tag in Ford. That looks like he's going to do it now. But Ford is reeling. Ford looks a bit in pain, and Dawkins has decided I'm not going to tag him in because he looks a bit worse for wear, but I'm not entirely sure that's a good idea. He's going back over to the corner now and does tag him in, so Montez Ford is the legal man. And he tags straight back out. And that is unprecedented stuff. I don't know whether that's either mind games or Montez Ford is genuinely hurt. Dawkins goes back over to the corner. Doesn't make the tag. Wilder gets back in the ring. And you'd have to wonder what is going through the Revival's head here, because the Street Profits are a bit conflicted as to who to make the legal man, it seems. Flashback from Wilder. And now Dawson's reeling, a bit like Ford was. Wilder wants to make the tag. Dawson is trying to get his act together. Eventually he does so, makes a tag. And he's calling Dawkins to his feet. Setting up for the chop block, the same chop block we saw to Ford earlier. And can Dawkins take advantage? He's going to Ford again, and once again knocks him down. Last time the Revival did that, it cost them. And now, are they going for... They're going for some double team offense. The assisted leg drop. Wilder drives his leg down onto the chest of Dawkins. Two going at it in the corner. Dawkins perched at the top. Wilder going to the outside, climbs up to the top rope. Dawkins is on the top rope now, and a massive superplex to the outside of the ring. And a count out win counts, because neither team is champion. Wilder may have just put the nail in the coffin, although it looks like Dawkins is getting his act together here. What a superplex that was by Dash Wilder. Although Dawkins is back in, perhaps the damage is done. Two elbows from Dawson. Just scraping the head, the face along that rope. And that rope hurts, by the way. And now a tag in. They're going for a second shatter machine. They land it. Last time Ford broke up the pin. Wilder trying to ensure that that does not happen, but Ford nails back, and Wilder is staggered. And once again, you have to question the strategy of the Revival. He's going for it again, misses. This time he knocks him down. Going for the pinfall. Has Dawkins had enough time to recover? Or will the Revival pick up the win? Dawkins kicks out at 2. And that little lapse in strategy from the Revival may have just cost them the win. Wilder calling Dawkins to his feet now. Ford is not in the corner, although he is now actually. Wilder with the code breaker, half of the shatter machine, goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, can the ref get to 3 before Ford can get in? Yes he can. And the Revival are your SmackDown Tag Team Champions, despite the best efforts of the Street Profits, surviving 2 shatter machine Dawkins. It's a code breaker from Wilder that eventually gets it done. And the Revival have a target on their back in the belts around their waists. That is it for this episode of Money in the Bank. Come back tomorrow where we'll be crowning our first mid-card champions, US and IC. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, like the video, etc. And goodbye.